Before we move on from Stafford, let's listen to Sean McVay, coach of the Rams, on whether or not Matthew Stafford is currently playing his best football right now.
I think Matthew's done a great job of, being able to distribute the ball, and I think he's playing as good as he's played, Sam. I mean, it's been outstanding, his leadership. He's feeling good, too. I mean, people don't understand how much he was pushing through with the thumb injury, but this guy is a stud. He elevates everybody, myself included, and, he's playing outstanding, and I wouldn't want anyone else in the world leading our team than him.
And, look, they are where they are now. But we can't ignore history. We can't ignore the notion that the Rams were kind of hoping that the Jets wouldn't get Aaron Rodgers, so they would call the Rams and do a deal for Stafford before another $57 million became fully guaranteed on March 17. That was out there at the time. And also out there this past offseason and toward the end of last season. And last night, Al Michaels was dancing toward the subject. It was a little awkward for those of us in the know who have been following this very carefully for the past few years. When Al Michaels is talking to Herb Street about how well he knows Sean McVay, he knows him well enough that Sean McVay was Al Michaels' first choice to be in the booth with him at Amazon. Herbie was plan B, plan C, plan D. I don't know, but McVay was the guy they wanted. McVay was the guy they threw a big pile of money at. He just chose not to take it after they won the Super Bowl. And then last year, when it bottomed out, and McVay started looking around for escape hatches because he was. Look, I'm praising the Rams, and they're more exciting to me now as kind of an underdog than when they're the team that everyone thinks is going to win it all. But last year at this time, a lot of chatter, a lot of noise about McVay walking away like Dick Vermeil did. Burned out, take a break, go into broadcasting. The only problem is there was no seat. They were all taken. He blew his window. He was 1 year after the great reshuffling of NFL broadcasters. There was nothing there. So he had to come back. And I don't think, I've heard from enough people that I trust, once he started to get some blowback from within the team, like, what are you doing? You're leaving us? We all came back. Aaron Donald came back. Matthew Stafford's still there. Everybody signed all these new contracts, and you're going to leave after 1 year? He was stunned by that, as it was explained to me. He was rattled by that, as it was explained to me, and he re-upped. And look at what, it's paid off. It's a great story because it felt like this was going to be another year, Charean, where they're paying the bill from the Super Bowl they won 2 years ago. I don't think anybody expected, including them, to be as competitive as they are and have it all fall together the way that it has. How could you have known that Puka Nacua is going to become a superstar? How could you have known that Kyren Williams is going to become a superstar? And how could you have known that the offensive line was going to be so much better than it was last year? And it's worked, and it's fun to watch. It's so much more fun to watch a team that is uprising than a team that is front-running. And the Rams are the uprisers, and the 49ers are the front-runners. And my New Year's wish, Christmas wish, Rams at Lions. New Year's wish, Rams at 49ers. Because I think both of those games would be a hell of a lot of fun to watch in the playoffs.
Well, we get a preview of that, obviously, in a couple weeks, so that'll be fun to watch. But, Mike, didn't Sean McVay looked like he was just having so much fun yesterday, too. He was going to guys on the side, tapping Puka on the helmet and celebrating. It looked like their Super Bowl year again, the way he was celebrating and having fun and smiling and laughing. And that's what you like to see. And I know he's glad he came back with what's transpired, but you're right. Nobody saw this coming. They didn't even see this coming. They didn't know what those draft picks were going to turn into. And they've turned into really good players, and they've rebuilt in a hurry, probably a lot faster than they thought they were going to rebuild. You think of all the trades they made, of all the players who came and went, the Odell Beckhams, the Jalen Ramseys, all those guys. They don't have those guys anymore. They don't have those big names there. But they still have Matthew Stafford, and they still have Aaron Donald, and that's two really good places to start. And then they brought in all these lower-round draft picks, not first-round draft picks, but third rounders, fifth rounders, and these guys have developed in a hurry. And now they are one of the most competitive teams in the NFL. They're a team you don't want to play. They've scored 28 points in their last 5 games, I think it is. So they're really playing at a high level right now. I think they're capable of beating anyone that they play. We saw it with the Baltimore game. They were fully capable of winning in Baltimore. Tough place to play. We've seen teams go in there. We saw the Lions do it. We saw the Lions go in there and get their butts kicked. We saw the Texans go in there, get their butts kicked. Tough place to play, and they had a chance to win that game. They can be competitive wherever they go and play. That includes San Francisco.
And that's an excellent point because they've won 5 out of the last 6 games. But the game that convinces me the most that they'll be dangerous in the postseason is the one they lost. That was the game where you say, the Rams, they got something. And it travels. You wouldn't expect it to travel. It traveled in the rain. And they almost won that game. And think of if they had, and I know there's a lot of different ifs and permutations, but they'd be on a 6-game tear. They'd quite possibly have their playoff ticket punched already, although it might not be clinched without one more win. But we would be much more confident. It all came down to overtime. But they can go on the road. They could go to Philadelphia and win. They could go to Dallas and have a different game than they had before. They could go to San Francisco and win in the postseason because they know that team so well. That's always, I think, the great fear of a great team. We've seen it before. 1 seeds losing to teams from their division who aren't intimidated. Yeah. They know the stadium. They know the city. They know the personnel. They would love nothing more than to end your special season that got you the 1 seed or the 2 seed. And the Rams, I think, would love. They did it the year they won the Super Bowl. They knocked out the 49ers in the NFC Championship. They would love to do it again if they get that opportunity, and maybe they will. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.